Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies, man. The Saints had to get their roster from 90 to 85 today. Had to cut 5 guys. They brought some guys in. They actually cut more than 5 guys. Brought some guys in. They have a joint practice with Green Bay this week, so we kind of get to see them against Green Bay throughout practice this week, so that'll be good to see. But, man, the new signing, or let's start with the waived. We'll start with Jordan Brown, defensive back. He was waived. Linebacker Isaiah Pryor, he was waived. They both were waived with injury designation, so I guess they both got hurt. Then we also waived TJ Carter, defensive end. Safety Jack Corner, I believe that's rookie safety from Iowa. Kicker John Parker Romo, that's no surprise. Will Lutz is probably going to get the entire kicking duties for the second week. And then the most shocking one, well, I guess we can say Ethan Greenridge was put on IR as well, but the most shocking release I think we had was Easop Winston. He's been here 2 years now. I always have a special place for Easop Winston in my heart, just because he was one of the first guys I did a film review on this channel, man. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. He was really, really good at Washington State. So I always thought he was a good receiver, and I thought he never really got a chance to play receiver, especially last season, man, when our receivers were god-awful and he didn't get out there. I don't think he played well in that first preseason game. In the return game, I thought he had some looks, some open holes, a lot of space, but nothing really came from it. And I do think he can possibly come back to this team. Like when I talk about the signings, we have Jaleel Johnson, who was with the team in training camp, and he got cut ways, but now he's back. I think the same thing's going to happen. Now, this is probably telling me more that the starters are going to play. We might see Jarvis Landry. We might see Michael Thomas out there. And if we're playing all of those guys, then obviously we're going to have to cut a receiver, because now you're adding 2 to 3 guys, to the mix that didn't play receiver in his first game. So a receiver's not going to really get playing time like Easop Winston, so maybe they're going to cut him. And then if those guys are resting up for the last preseason game, they'll probably bring him back and cut some other guys. I think that's a real possibility for most of these players. Now we're going to talk about the signings. We signed John Bostic. He's a linebacker. He's on his 6th team. Played with the Washington Commanders now for the last 3 seasons. He was placed on injured reserve. He did something to his pectoral last year, so he only played 4 games last year. Then you have defensive end Nico Lalos, and then you have defensive tackle Jaleel Johnson, who's been with the Saints for all throughout training camp. They cut him, they brought him back. I think that's going to be a reoccurring theme for the next couple of weeks, at least until that final 53-man roster has to come out and practice squad and things like that. It's a lot of teams that's going to be looking to steal our players. Like, we have a lot of guys that are really good on this team, and we only can keep 53. We can keep some on the practice squad, but I think we have guys that will probably either start on some teams or at least be a rotational guy on some teams. So when cut day comes, don't be shocked if a lot of Saints guys are just everywhere else, man. This is one of those wicked times of the year where cuts are going to happen. It goes from 90 to 85, then 85 to 53, I believe. That's the new rule in the NFL. So it's a drastic drop-off at the end, but these players know what they're signing up for, man. It happens every season. Guys are going to get cut. Guys are going to be looking for jobs, trying to find new homes, and some will and some won't. That's just the nature of the business, man. The game is the game. But I do like the signings we did bring in, get some new guys in there, some fresh bodies in there. This does point to signs, at least in my opinion, that the starters may play. I think it's the Easop Winston and the John Parker Romo. Those 2 cuts really, and the safety cut, like the defensive end cut. All of those positions, we have a lot of depth at those positions, and that just, in my opinion, I think the starters are going to play at least a little bit. Hopefully, we get them for a quarter. 'Cause, I mean, cutting the defensive end, a safety, we didn't really see our defense out there that much. The kicker, Will Lutz is going to kick the entire game. Easop Winston, some receivers are probably going to play not the entire game, but at least hopefully we get the starters out there for a quarter. That would be a nice look. But once again, I'm speculating on that front. I don't know what the Saints are going to do. We could not play a starter at all, and I could just be absolutely wrong. Hey, I'm open to that. But hopefully we get the starters out there this week. Man, hopefully we get some more information from Dennis Allen and the coaching staff soon. But I just want to update y'all, man. We did cut the roster down to 85. Hopefully some of those guys get a chance elsewhere, and they might be back with the Saints after this upcoming game. You never know. So as always, thank y'all for tuning in once again. This is the Boot Tragedies, and I'm out.